TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations. Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Jerusalem reaffirms its commitment to fulfill all of its war objectives, irrespective of mounting international pressure. Iran threatens Israel against retaliating for its direct, belligerent attack, which the IRGC mounted against Israeli territory. Hezbollah says it is not afraid of Israel, while in tandem, it highlights its interest in reaching a ceasefire agreement. The hearts of the people of Israel are bound to those who've been taken captive by the murderous Islamist Hamas terrorist organization, with chains of love and deep concern. Addressing the state ceremony commemorating the victims of the October 7th massacre last year, Israeli President Yitzhak Herzog stressed that the nation of Israel and its leadership in Jerusalem will not rest until all of the remaining 101 hostages are brought back home.
It has been a year since, in an abhorrent crime against humanity, our brothers and sisters have been held captive by murderers. Our hearts are bound to them with chains of love and worry. We know we will not be whole until they return to us. The sanctity of life, which flows through our veins as a nation, obligates us, especially our leadership, to fulfill the supreme human, Jewish, and Israeli commandment to bring them back quickly. It has been a year, and countless of our brothers and sisters are still displaced from their homes, both in the north and the south. I strengthen the IDF and the security forces, and regular service and reserves, the warriors who fight with courage and bravery on all fronts. I embrace their worried families, who show resilience and strength during this most challenging time. And I remind us of our duty as a state to bring all Israeli residents back home safely.
Prime Minister Netanyahu, for his part, seized the opportunity to reaffirm Jerusalem's unwavering commitment to achieving its war aims.
On
October 7th, we were all hurled into a critical battle, but we were not defeated. On the contrary, it is we who are acting to defeat and deter our enemies. And, as we have often experienced in our history, it is in dark moments such as these that we exude our great inner power. We rallied together to defend our country, our homeland. We mustered immense mental strength. We outlined the goals of the war, and we are achieving them, toppling the rule of Hamas, bringing all the hostages home, the living and the deceased alike. This is a sacred mission, and we will not stop until we complete it, eliminating any future threat from Gaza to Israel, and returning the residents of the south and the north safely to their homes.
Alongside dozens of commemoration ceremonies for the victims of October 7th in Israel, leaders around the Western world have also attended separate memorial ceremonies and expressed solidarity with the State of Israel in particular and the Jewish people at large.
Wir sind immer noch erschüttert.
We are still in shock, and that's why it's so depressing to know that a lot of Israelis, many of them who are also German citizens, are still being held hostage in Gaza. What's necessary now is that there be a ceasefire soon, combined with the release of the hostages, and that we take on our responsibility. That also goes for our country and for the situation here in this country. It's depressing to see that anti-Semitism plays a bigger role than it did in previous years, and that has always been terrible and depressing.
In
the face of the horror of this terrorist attack, of this barbarism that France condemned from the first day, in the face of the recent attacks of Hezbollah and Iran, I want to say and say again that the security of the State of Israel is not and will never be negotiable. The security of the people of Israel, the oldest persecuted people in the world, who have faced the oldest of hatred, as author Bernard-Henri Lévy said, this security is not negotiable.
That's why I say and repeat in front of you that these people find themselves today, and since October 7th in particular, in a situation of self-defense.
Cet octobre en particulier en situation de légitime défense.
Today we mark a year since the horrific attack on Israel by the terrorists of Hamas. It was the bloodiest day for the Jewish people since the Holocaust. A day of sorrow, a day of grief. Over 1,000 people were massacred, hundreds taken hostage, in an attack born of hatred, targeted not just at individuals, but at Jewish communities, at their way of life, and at the state of Israel, the symbol of Jewish security to the world. For so many, the pain and horror of that day is as acute today as it was a year ago. They live it every day. Last week, I met the families of British hostages.
Returning to Jerusalem, where Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu hosted a bipartisan delegation of U.S. senators and representatives in a show of uncompromising support by the United States of America for the State of Israel.
I deeply appreciate the visit by Senators Graham and Blumenthal on this day of commemoration of October 7th. It was the worst attack on the Jewish people since the Holocaust, but unlike the Holocaust, we fight back. And we're fighting like lions with the support of the American government, the American people, and its representatives who are so well represented here. I want to thank you both for your stellar support for Israel throughout the war.
Mr. Prime Minister, we're honored to be with you, and we appreciate your giving us this opportunity to speak with you on this really agonizingly difficult day for your country and the people of Israel and all of us in the United States who feel so deeply that it was an absolutely abhorrent, inhumane attack on the Jewish people. And we're here to say we have Israel's back, and Israel has a right to defend itself.
Amid a looming Israeli retaliatory strike against Iran after the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps launched 181 ballistic missiles directly at Israel, Senator Lindsey Graham asserted, in spite of the Biden administration's voiced objection, that Israel has every right to go after the Ayatollah regime's nuclear program.
If Iran ever got a nuclear weapon, they would use it. The question would be, who would they use it against first? Me, you, Saudi Arabia? We can never let that happen. So we're going to help you.
Turning to Tehran, where Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi addressed Ayatollah regime supporters, during the course of which he initially boasted in the two direct attacks which the Islamic Republic blatantly mounted against Israel, dubbed Operation Sadiq's Promise 1 and 2 respectively, claiming those attacks signified Tehran's resolve to confront Jerusalem.
The first and second operation of Sadiq's Promise demonstrated the commendable determination and authority of the armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran. So everyone knows that any strategic mistake by the enemy will be met with a far more severe response, and we will not hesitate to do this, nor will we be in a hurry.
Tehran's top diplomat went on to reiterate the Islamic Republic's threats versus Israel over its intention to retaliate over Iran's attacks.
We recommend the Zionist regime not to test the resolution of the Islamic Republic. If any attack against our country takes place, our response will be more powerful. Any attack on the infrastructure's facilities of the Islamic Republic will definitely face a stronger response. And our enemies know what kind of targets inside the Zionist regime are in our reach, and they have witnessed the power and accuracy of our missiles.
Minister Araghchi further continued by addressing his recent trip to Beirut and Damascus, during the course of which he effectively reaffirmed the Islamic Republic's support for Tehran's terror proxies, which are determined to fight Israel on Iran's behalf.
The message of the Islamic Republic of Iran during my visit to Beirut and Damascus was a clear and unambiguous message that the Islamic Republic of Iran will continue to stand behind the resistance with all its strength, and no one should have doubts about this. We have supported the resistance, we are and we will be. And the temporary strikes that have been inflicted cannot damage the determination and will of the resistance and the determination and will of the Islamic Republic.
After addressing regime supporters, the Iranian foreign minister contradicted himself by claiming to the press that the Islamic Republic is not pursuing a policy of war.
Our policy is not the policy of war and continued tension, although we are ready for it. Our policy is to stop conflicts and reach a fair ceasefire that is agreed upon, accepted by the resistance.
Meanwhile, in an undisclosed bunker in Beirut, Hezbollah's sole survivor of its top echelons, Deputy Secretary General Naim Qassem, made a pre-recorded televised address in which he praised Iran for its military and financial support for its proxies in the Gaza Strip, so-called West Bank, as well as Lebanon.
Iran has provided clear and well-known support for the resistance in Palestine, Lebanon, and the region, and this is what it is proud of. It is an honor and dignity for Iran that it is helping the Palestinians to regain their rights.
The terror leader, who's being actively hunted, went on to claim that Hezbollah is not afraid of Israel in particular, and the West at large.
This big consensus by the Israeli enemy, along with the U.S. and Western countries, they are all trying to pressure us in order to be fearful and to be afraid. But we will not be afraid. We will not be fearful.
While boastfully claiming not to be afraid from an undisclosed bunker somewhere in Lebanon, Qassem went on to voice support for ongoing negotiations to reach a ceasefire spearheaded by Hezbollah ally, Lebanon's parliament speaker Nabil Berri. Meanwhile, earlier in the day, Jordan's foreign minister Ayman Safadi traveled to Beirut, where he met with Lebanon's caretaker prime minister Najib Kati.
We are facing a catastrophe. We are facing a dangerous escalation that threatens the security of the entire region and threatens regional and international security and peace. And the efforts of the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan continue with everyone to stop this aggression.
Amman's top diplomat went on to assert that the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan will not allow anyone to use its airspace for the sake of attacking anyone, to include Iran, which ignored Jordan's objections already twice, and Israel, which has not unveiled the methods or targets of its anticipated attacks versus the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Jordan's position was clear. We will not be a battlefield for anyone, and we will not allow anyone to violate the airspace and sovereignty of the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan and threaten the security of our citizens. Protecting our citizens and protecting Jordan is a priority for us, and we have conveyed this message clearly to Iran and to Israel as well.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I would like to encourage you to pray for the peace of Jerusalem and salvation of Israel. Separately, if you're blessed by our productions, which are exclusively donation-based, please consider supporting our programs with a donation. You can do so via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. I'm Jonathan Hessen, wishing you an Erev Mevorach, and God willing, we'll see you during our next update. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.